The materials needed for today's pocket shawl is a K or a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. You will need a tapestry needle, and you will need 2 of these Caron cotton cakes or any 4-weight yarn of your choice. Today I will be using this cracked pepper. There is a total of 530 yards in here. We will not be using all of it, so you will need roughly 900 yards of yarn to complete this pocket shawl for today's pattern. So go ahead, grab 2 or any 4-weight worsted weight yarn, and let's go ahead and get started. Now, something I do want to note for this pattern is we will be working in rows back and forth like this, back and forth, up and up, and we will make a triangle that's going to be at least 61 inches long. So pardon this terrible drawing, but we're going to be working back and forth up this way, and we will be making the length. So we will start off with the width, and then we will work the length in the rows. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to begin the body of our shawl, we do want to make a chain of 46. So just yarn over, go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So go ahead and make 46 chains and meet me back here. Okay, so now that you have made your 46 chains, you want to double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So here's 1, 2, 3, and here's the 4th chain. So yarn over and insert your hook into that loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. Okay, so we are going to make another double crochet back into that same space. Okay. So this chain 3 right here is going to start, going to be the first stitch of our row. So now what we want to do is skip the next chain, and into the following chain we're going to place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, all into the same chain. So skip the next chain, and into the following chain place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So we're going to repeat this all the way across for row 1, skip 1 stitch and place 2 double crochets into the next. Do this all the way up until you are at your last stitch, and I will meet you back here. Okay, so here I have 2 more stitches. And in the very last stitch, instead of placing 2 double crochets, we're just going to place 1 double crochet into that last stitch. So now we are going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and turn our work. So for round 2 and the rest of the rounds are going to be a repeat of this round. We're not going to be working into the stitches, but we are going to be working in between our chain 2s. So not the spaces in between, but you see how we put the 2 double crochets into the 1 space? That's where we're going to work our stitch, is right in between those 2 double crochets. So we will do this at the beginning of every row. We will place 2 double crochets in the middle of that little cluster right there. Just like that. Okay. So this is going to be our beginning of our row, and then we'll put the 2 in here. So now we're going to skip the space in between the clusters, and as you see, each of these 2 double crochets, that's where we're going to be working in the middle of. So into the next space, we're going to work 2 double crochets into that same space. So now we are going to skip. Again, we're not working in between the clusters. Like here's 2, 2, 2. We're working in between the double crochets. So in between the next cluster, we're going to place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. We'll get some more yarn here. Okay, Okay, so skipping the space, going into the 2 double crochets, we're going to place 2 more double crochets. So go ahead and continue to do this all the way down till you get to the other end. So you'll see this is what it looks like. And continue to work until you get to these last double crochets right here, and then we have that chain 3 space. Meet me back here and I'll show you what to do, and I'll show you how to do row 3, and then you will just go ahead and repeat that. So continue to work in between the 2 double crochets by placing 2 double crochets all the way to the end, and I will meet you back at this video. Okay, so here in the last double crochet space, as you see, I've been working in between, and we're back at our chain 3 space. So you see, here's the 1 double crochet, here's the other, and what we want to do at the end of every single row is in the top of the chain 3 space of the previous row, we're just going to place 1 double crochet instead of 2. Then we will chain up 3 and turn our work. And now we are going to be repeating row 2. So into the spaces, again in between these double crochets, is where we're going to place 2 double crochets. So we begin every row with a chain 3, and then we begin our clusters, and we end every row with 1 double crochet into that chain 3 space. So you want to go ahead and continue to do this until you have a total of 122 rows, or until your project is at least 61 inches or however many inches long you want to make your shawl. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Okay guys, as you see, when you get done with your 122 rows, it becomes very, very long. So however long you want to do it, that is how many rows you will want to do. So just go ahead and tie off, fasten off when you get to the end of your 122nd row, or however many you decided to do, and then sew in your ends. So now what we want to do is work on the pockets. I'll show you what the finished pocket looks like, and then I will show you how to make the pocket itself. Okay, so this is what the pocket's going to look like. I have not fastened it on yet, but as you see here, it's just basically a small swatch of the stitch that we were doing before with an edging. So let's grab our hook and our yarn and let's get started. I do want to note that you will need to make 2 of these, 1 for each side of your shawl. So to begin, for our pockets, we are using the same size hook, and we want to chain 26 chains this time instead of 46 like we did for the pocket shawl. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and make 20 more chains and I'll meet you back here. Okay guys, so I have my 26 chains, and just like we did for the pocket shawl, into the 4th chain from the hook we want to place 2 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3. Here's our 4th. So we're going to place 2 double crochets, and then this is going to be the same stitch pattern as we did before. So we are going to skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch we will place 2 double crochets into the same space, skip a stitch, into the next, place 2 double crochets. Do this all the way to the last stitch, and then place 1 double crochet into the very last stitch, just like we were doing before. And then we are going to repeat like we were doing with the pocket shawl. So we're going to do a total of 19 rows for the pockets, repeating the same pattern that we did for the pocket shawl. If you're having a little trouble remembering that, just rewind this video, go ahead and go back to that. So just go ahead and continue to do this for 19 rows. When you get done with your 19th row, meet me back here and I will show you how to do the border on the pocket. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like after you do your 19 rows. Now we are going to work a single crochet along the side of our work, along the bottom, back up the side, and all the way across the top. Now we'll work 3 single crochets in each of the corners, and I will show you where we will work in the sides. So as you see, we will have our double crochet or chain 3 space here, and then there is a little loop guy in between each of those. Then we'll have that and then this, and we'll be working into each one of those. So we're just going to be doing a single crochet. So right here in this first space, working sideways, we'll just place 1 single crochet there. In this little hole, we'll place 1 single crochet. Where the chains are, 1 single crochet. Right here, 1 single crochet. So we're just going to do this all the way around. Once you get down here in the corner, just put 3 single crochets into that space and then start working your way all the way across. I'll show you guys what this looks like when it's all finished. Okay guys, and this is what your pocket should look like when you're all done. I have 3 single crochets in each of the corners. So now go ahead and grab your shawl part. I don't think I mentioned that you want to make 2 of these pockets. So then grab your shawl, grab your tapestry needle, and what you're going to do next is simply sew this onto your work. It is going to be hard. I'm not going to be demonstrating as I do this, but I'm going to show you guys roughly. Just line it up. I do go onto the 3rd row is where I'm going to be attaching this, so 1, 2, and 3. And then I'll just go ahead and thread my tapestry needle. I typically like to start up in the corner, and you can start from the front or from the back, and then you're just going to go in, and then from that side you'll come back out with your needle and continue to work. Remember to leave the top open, and then just work along the edges, sewing these in, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when I get completed with that. So go ahead, after you make both of your pockets, get that lined up onto your pocket shawl. If you have another method of sewing that on, perfectly capable of doing that, go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back here and we'll add on some fringe. I think next I'll show you guys what that looks like when I'm all finished as well.